Welcome back to the Super Bowl 60 pregame show on NBC, presented by AWS.
And welcome back to Levi's Stadium. We're getting you set for Super Bowl 60 between the Patriots and the Seahawks. And let's talk about Seattle's head coach, the 38-year-old Mike McDonald's, in his second season with the Seahawks, making his Super Bowl debut. And I actually got a chance to catch up with my old high school friend earlier this week on what life might have looked like without football. Well, Mike, the last time I saw you was week 15 a season ago. Did you imagine that the next time we sat down, we'd be less than 10 miles away from Levi's Stadium because you're about to coach in the Super Bowl?
No, not in my wildest dreams.
NFC champs, I love you guys.
There's so many great turning points in your story, but one of them was you could have taken a corporate job. I want you to take me back to that moment.
Yeah, that was the fall of 2013. That was my 4th year at Georgia. I was the point man, kind of burned out.
Let's go!
Felt like it's not really going the direction I wanted. So I actually, in that fall, I kind of snuck away during the bye week and went and interviewed down at the Career Center for KPMG. And this is a job I should have pursued with a finance degree. And I'm going through the process like, this does not feel right.
Yes, sir!
I had the opportunity to interview with Baltimore. It was like, man, this is what I want to do. It became a pretty easy decision.
What do you think your life would look like if you had done that?
We wouldn't be sitting on this. I'd be wearing collared shirts, maybe a vest.
Yeah, we like the t-shirt hoodie look. We're holding on to this one.
Thanks.
Let's go!
If you're a coach, that means you love to teach, right?
You're looking at someone that can't do, so I think it's fun to see you did something today that you couldn't do yesterday.
Last year, you described yourself as a football nerd.
I think so at the
You
core.
added some stuff to it?
My perspective on what matters in football has grown. This is what we want to create. This is where we want to go. We're all learning together, but we're going to enjoy the heck out of the ride as we go.
I like this every year. Let me cross.
Oh, I do have a little video to show you.
Oh, boy.
Coach McDonald, all of us here at Centennial High School are extremely proud of you and your accomplishments. If you can add Super Bowl champion
to that resume, you may just become our #1 alum. Sorry, Maria.
You're going to be the #1 alum.
Let's go win a game.
Now listen, Mike and I go way back to 2005, and he did tell me that today is a special day, not just for football, but for family. His father, Hugh, was actually in attendance today, and he has kidney disease. It prevented Hugh from attending any games during the regular season until he had a transplant from a fellow church member. Now his health has improved, and he's attended every playoff game so far. Hugh and the McDonald family, they're here in Santa Clara to root their son on, and the Seahawks in less than 2 hours. And all of that as a part of legendary February on NBC. We've got NBA All-Star next weekend here in California. The Winter Olympics already taking place 6,000 miles away in Italy. Whereas the final day of the figure skating team event, let's take a look at some of the highlights. It was the U.S. and the Japan tied entering the men's free skate, which meant it came down to 21-year-old Ilya Malinin, the quad god from Northern Virginia, and he delivered in the clutch to help the U.S. repeat as gold medalists. It's 11 at night in Italy, and speaking of gold medals, we've got 3-time gold medalist Shaun White, who's at the Starbucks and International Broadcast Center in Milan. Hey, Shaun.
Hi, Maria. That's right. I am at the IBC here in Milan, and we are all celebrating this huge win for Team USA. You know, this is that moment where those athletes realize that all that hard work, all that dedication just paid off. They are Olympic gold medalists, and I know from my own experience, I didn't even let it sink in until the next morning I woke up and saw my gold medal on the dresser next to the bed. So these athletes are in for a treat, but stay tuned after the game because there's more Olympic action coming up. This is just the beginning. Team USA is looking so strong, and there's plenty of individual events coming up. And we need a little bit of a pregame prediction here, I think. What do you guys think? I don't want to be alone in this, so Patriots? Seahawks? All right, it's a Seahawk crowd here at Starbucks, obviously. So back to you, Maria.
All right, the Seahawks it is from Milan. We still got plenty more coming up in the final hour. We're going to hear from both starting quarterbacks. Drake May looking to lift the Lombardi Trophy in year 2. Sam Darnold, the California kid, playing in front of his family, plus a pregame performance from Green Day. That is all still to come ahead of Super Bowl 60.
The Super Bowl 60 pregame show on NBC is presented by Starbucks.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all my loved ones that have been there with me throughout this whole journey.
I'll probably give a shout out to my family, my mom, my dad, and my 4 older brothers. You know, they've been there since day one.
I want to give a special shout out to my mom, my dad, my brothers. I truly appreciate it. Thank you just for taking care of me. I owe everything to y'all.
Let me think.
Dang, that's gonna cause tears, bro.
I want to shout out my wife, Julia. We've been together since we were 16 years old, living the dream still. We're happy to have a shot at this thing together.
I'm gonna say my children, everything that they sacrificed for me to be in this moment now, I appreciate them.
I would say my parents.
My parents.
It's got to be my parents.
Sacrifices that they all made throughout my life. I'm forever grateful.
Come from Pierce, South Dakota. Now we're playing on the biggest stage of football. I wouldn't be here without you guys.
I wouldn't be here without my mom, of course. Being my phone call and being somebody that's always been there for me.
Shout out to my mom. Thank you for staying disciplined on me, even when I strayed away from you sometimes. You got me back in line.
Motivate me when I'm down, keeping my spirits up high. I love you so much, and I'm so thankful for you, and you're the best mom a kid can ask for.
My father, who has, guided me, has prepared me for these moments. He's someone I look up to. He's my role model.
For me, my hero is my dad. For him moving from Colombia, he didn't even speak English. To me, it was just like I just want to pay him back.
To be able to hold that trophy for my dad and to be able to let him know that we did it, that meant everything.
Ernest Jones seeming like he's getting a little choked up there, just thinking about the people that have backed him up to make him to this stage and this moment. All of you guys sitting up here have been there on the sidelines. We're about 90 minutes before kickoff. Can you walk me through some of the emotions some of the players and coaches would be feeling right now?
Yeah, this was a time I would give my group our pregame kind of speech, and I would always talk to them about, hey, we're here for a reason, and it's time to represent those people who believe in you, not the haters and all that nonsense. I would look at them and say, hey, those people that had your back, 2 or 3 people, bring them with you and let them enjoy the Super Bowl too.
No doubt. I think the biggest thing is you have to control your emotions. Everybody's heart's racing, your mind's racing. I think you got to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, slow everything down, get back into your rhythm, and remember, one play at a time, just go execute and play football.
Yeah, Coach, I remember I was way too hyped up to start our game that first time around. I was making every play and getting up and celebrating like it truly was my last. But we got burnt out in that fourth quarter, and we didn't have enough in the tank. So that second time around, I was the veteran going up to my team and talking about, hey, go sit down in between series. We're going to need all the juice that we can get. Unfortunately, I didn't know that we're going to have to play an extra quarter in that game.
No, it happens. I mean, I've seen guys after the first play come out and need oxygen tanks. Everything's about breathing, relaxing, trying to keep that pulse down so when you get to that game, you're ready to go. But for me, this is the first time after usually the NFC Championship that I feel normal. You go through this whole dog and pony show, you're doing all this traveling, all your schedule's a little bit off, but now you're kind of in your element. You're going over the openers, you're going over all the situations, you're doing what you've done your whole life, and it finally feels normal. Yeah, you're gonna come out, there's gonna be an anthem, a lot more stuff, but you're ready to go, and you're finally ready to do what you're made for.
What are you doing to keep the players from ending up like Fred and being all over the place, jumping out of their skin? A young Fred, excuse me, a rookie Fred.
The biggest thing for me is I get that out through the whole 2 weeks of talking to them.
Okay.
You know, I don't think there's a lot on game day where you're going to come out as a coach and say a lot of magical words. We've put that work in for 2 weeks. Now, especially as a play caller, I'm kind of in a room going through 5,000 situations, so I can just be ready to not hesitate and go, and I count on guys like Fred to keep the guys poised.
Hey, you've been around me. I'm cracking jokes. I'm making fun of guys. I just want guys to realize, hey, we're here for a reason. We've put the work in. Let's just go have fun. Loosen up.
No doubt. And I think a big word is trust. Keep reminding players to trust themselves, trust the preparation, trust each other, trust the play call, and just do what you've been doing all year long.
Now, look, we just saw the Seahawks taking the field. You can hear the Seahawks fans standing up. They've been here since 11 a.m. When these gates open, they started filling into Levi's Stadium. The celebrities are starting to pull up. Shout out to Travis Scott. Kyle Shanahan actually had your shoes on yesterday. I saw you with the Travis Scotts during rehearsal. You look pretty good. John Bon Jovi is a
Patriot legend right there. Bon Jovi at every big game.
Okay, of course you would hop in during that. And then Robert Kraft has made it into the building, trying to set the record with 7 Super Bowl championships. Vrabel has 3 to his name as a player, trying to get 1 as a head coach. You're going to hear next.
The Super Bowl 60 pregame show on NBC is brought to you by Starbucks and by AWS AI, how the NFL levels up the game.
Well, it certainly has been such a long time for Mike Vrabel. He caught 2 Super Bowl touchdowns despite being a linebacker. In fact, all 12 catches in his career went for scores.
Yeah, he had the best hands on the team, I'll tell you that.
I can tell you 12 for 12 scores is pretty good. Well, Vrabel won 3 Super Bowls in his 8 seasons as a player with the Patriots. Now he's trying to win another in his first season as the team's head coach.
Coach, we know how critical those late situations are in the game.
Buddy, I tell you what, and you ended one of those Super Bowls with an interception. It's amazing what you can do when you don't get hurt. Just finish the game.
When you see all these championship trophies, what does it mean to you?
That's the blueprint. I don't think we're ever going to replicate, nor are we trying to replicate any of those teams. It's a blueprint of the hard work, the connection that those teams had, the attention to detail, being able to perform in high-intensity environments, making plays in critical situations.
Drop to the bucket, 12. Intercept for New England. Yes, yes. So we used to always call you smart. You must have got it from your parents.
Well, with my parents being educators, my dad was a coach. I appreciate the fact that my dad showed me the value of hard work, doing landscape, lugging mulch, but also working in sports and how strong a team can be.
Changed my life, dog. You just getting warmed up. I swear to God, you changed my life.
I'd see those teams, and those teams would come to our house for, oddly enough, Super Bowl parties. And just the way that those teams interacted, the power of a team and the power of a group is what they really taught me.
What is the one thing that you took from Coach Belichick that's a non-negotiable?
Hold the best players the most accountable. As soon as you set that standard, it makes it real easy to coach everybody else. Once you do that, the players also appreciated that there's nobody that's off limits.
Yeah, just capture him. Don't kill him. Stop. Come on, fellas.
I've embraced the idea that myself and players can have different personalities, but what we can't have is different mindsets.
You don't see coaches embracing players, hugging them, getting actively involved in drills, and that's something that you do, and that's the way you connect with your players.
When you bring a bunch of guys in that are new, it's critical to know what people's background are, what the family history is, things that they care about. If I care about them, and then I'm going to care about things that are important to them. It's impossible to change who you are. Now, I'm responsible for a lot more people. I'm still myself, but also, there's been a little polish to it.
Well, if you're a kid at home and your parents ask you to lug some mulch, do it, because you might be coaching in the Super Bowl. But, Rod, you could just feel how genuine that guy is.
We always knew that he was going to be a head coach because he loved football so much. I mean, he played offense, he played defense, he played special teams. He hogged all the reps from the scout team, Coach. So we always knew that, and he works so hard, he's unselfish, and he deserves all the success that he's having right now.
Watching that, it reminds me of my Super Bowl coach in Pittsburgh, Chuck Noll. Mike Vrabel coaches everybody, and he cares about them off the field, too. He brought a lot of his coaching staff from Tennessee, some great teachers, but he also brought his chaplain, James Mitchell, because he did want to coach them off the field. He wants to help them be better men as well as better players. I love Coach Vrabel.
I love the way he embraces his players.
You feel that Belichick tree, and we'll see if it can lead to another Super Bowl victory. Back over to Maria.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, you see Sam Darnold right there on the field. Ultimate redemption story. You're still going to hear from him. He will be in conversation with Jason just a little bit later. Meanwhile, we're getting you set for Super Bowl 60 here at Levi Stadium. Sam Darnold, quite a story, though, right?
What an unbelievable story for this guy to journey the way he did. He was kind of a nomad, going to all these different situations, saying, how do I find the best teaching? And now he found out. He found out in San Francisco with Kyle. Then he found it with Kevin O'Connell, but he found a home in Seattle.
I think there are going to be some real challenges for him today against this New England defense. I think it's important for Seattle to play the game on their own terms. Running the football is going to be big. It'll make the environment for Sam that much easier. You have to handle New England's pressure. You got to handle it, and you got to gash it and make some plays when you get a chance to do it. One more thing, a lot of low safeties. If you get a chance to make a play down the field, Sam's got to cash in on it.
All right, let's go back up to Steve Kornacki for the final time with some fun Super Bowl props that he has his eyes on.
Yeah, Maria, fans trying to figure some of these out, like who is going to be the MVP of Super Bowl 60? Well, here's a helpful hint for you. Maybe you need it, maybe you don't, but it's almost always a player on the offense, although one of these recent exceptions, it was a Seahawk linebacker, Malcolm Smith, the MVP of Super Bowl 48 when Seattle beat Denver. How about the question on everybody's mind? What color is the Gatorade bath going to be? Well, history says that orange is the most likely, 5 of the most recent 16, but honestly, this one ones wide open last year. Nick Sirianni of the Eagles, he was doused in yellow. The 2 years before that, Andy Reid, he took a bath of purple. Would anyone dare try red today? Never been done before at the Super Bowl. How about no bath at all? Bill Belichick escaped it 3 times when he won with the Patriots. And apologies to the fans in Seattle, but the deja vu bet as well. You could bet whether the Seahawks, like they did 11 years ago, will attempt a pass from the 1-yard line. The odds you can get on that, Maria, they say 5-1.
All right, appreciate it so much. Look, Mike McDonald making his way down the field, giving a kiss to Stephanie. They also have a young 18-month-old back at home. We'll be watching.
DraftKings Sportsbook is your home for live betting, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code SNF when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
There's Drake May, the second youngest quarterback to start in the Super Bowl. Could become the youngest to win it. He's sitting in his Jordan year. But the question really and truly is, can he handle the dark side?
We came from just a style of play. We fought for the ball like a pack of hungry dogs.
This defense is really on top of it.
If you line up, you should already know the rest with this Seahawks defense facing you.
A lot of people started comparing us to Legion of Boom and all that. You know, that was cool, but, you know, we wanted our own name. Dark side is a bunch of hungry savages. Cutthroat. We don't take no prisoners.
So destructive right now.
Our defense coordinator, he's always talking about the dead zone.
You look at our defense, it's scary, like how much talent we have and how hungry dudes really are. The energy we play with on every level.
You know, it's dark, it's cloudy, it's rainy out. Talking about a style nobody wants to play.
Lightning strikes for this defense.
We hunting, flying around, just playing for one another.
I think it's really everybody. We just hold each other to that standard. We really do play as one person.
It is inevitable.
We play with such violence, they have to tap.
Seattle, the best defense in the NFL.
I feel like we just watched a trailer for the worst horror film that any quarterback has ever seen. Get your popcorn ready. I got my defenders up here with us.
Let's go.
So let's get into it. What makes the dark side so menacing in the Seattle defense?
They have top players in the NFL at every position. When the opponent's playing, they go, man, I wish I had a guy like that. And you take that and they have a complex scheme. So it makes it so hard on the quarterback play after play. You got to read it out and you got to try to stop these guys.
Well, Dev, the best defenses that I've been a part of, they always started up front, right? And I hate to continue to compliment Seattle and their team, but they have one of the best front four in the entire league. And I think it all starts and ends with Leonard Williams. The things that he's able to do up front, penetrating in the middle on pass and run, it opens up everybody else on their defense to make plays.
Yeah, I just love that they don't do the same thing over and over again. This Seattle Seahawks team that was here 11 years ago in the Super Bowl, they were basic because they had stars everywhere. Mike McDonald said, let me make this complex. Let them have guys like Nick Manwari run all over the field. Drake May, find number 3 as much as you can and stay away from him.
Yeah, that team back 11 years ago, the Legion of Boom. Now we got the dark side, but they are leading the NFL in scoring defense, but we got to find a little sliver of light. Let's get over to our quarterbacks and see if they can locate it. Chris, Jason, and Kyle.
Yeah, I'm here, right? Got a quarterback, got the 2 offensive geniuses right here, and who better to talk about the Seahawks defense than you, Kyle? Really, what's the plan of attack? How do you expose them? What's the formula?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much secrets to being in a talented, very sound team. I mean, I think there's 2 Super Bowl defenses this year, and it was Seattle and it's Houston. And when I say that, it means they're capable of winning totally on their own if the other side of the ball, special teams and offense, don't mess it up. And when you attack these guys, all right, if you want to do it and unlock them, you better be able to run the ball. If you can't run the ball, they're going to keep their 2 safeties very deep. They're going to give up no explosives. I've looked for 2 years. You can't get the explosives unless you run the ball, unlock them, bring them up. When that happens, you lean on them, get those 40 runs in, and that was how we beat them in week 1. Weren't able to do that the last 2 times, and you guys saw that result.
Yeah, I think that's it. It starts with being patient, running the football, and trying to create a matchup outside. The one thing I would say if I were Josh McDaniels, maybe build in some go routes outside. inside. There's no weaknesses on this defense, but maybe the corner opposite Witherspoon is a guy you can go get. Joby or Woolen, build those things in. If Drake likes the matchup, throw it up there and give him a chance to make a play.
Well, go routes are the best way, but if you don't run that ball, Mike McDonald's not going to allow you the go route look. You're going to have deep safeties.
Run the ball, attack the corners on the outside. This is all good, but this is why I'm going to still take the Seahawks in a close one, Maria.
All right, appreciate it, Chris. His pick is in, and there's a lot riding on the right shoulder of Drake May as you saw him getting warmed up. All the fans making their way into Levi Stadium. You're going to hear from the Patriots quarterback Drake May when we come back.
This portion of the Super Bowl 60 pregame show on NBC was presented by Starbucks. The Super Bowl 60 pregame show on NBC is presented by Intuit TurboTax.
Back here at Super Bowl 60 at Levi Stadium, really the crowd filling in right now. Drake May, take a look at this, getting his good luck kiss from Ann Michael May. That's his wife. She's a star in her own right. Good follow on social media too. Listen, Drake, a North Carolina native, is the second youngest quarterback to start at a Super Bowl, but he's also the youngest of 4 who grew up playing backyard football in Charlotte.
One take, Drake.
One take.
Drizzy.
Drake.
There we go. There we go.
Your dad, he was a quarterback too at UNC. I'm curious what kind of quarterback he was.
Recently, me and my family sat around and we watched an old game of his. We were just laughing. They were running it like almost every play and maybe had a few rollout bootlegs.
Mark May on the rollout.
He was a pretty good athlete. My dad had real strong arms.
Mark May, a big story, the #2 passer in the ACC.
My dad always said, be the ones that want to be in the moment. Having somebody in my corner that experienced is pretty sweet.
So was he the guy in the backyard throwing with you, preparing you for games?
He still is. My 3 brothers are the ones usually spot catching, so I got about 3, 6, 7 tight ends out there. My dad's the one snapping, and I wouldn't like it any other way.
Bet you got a full football team. That must be nice, right?
Pretty close.
In the backyard.
Pretty close. Got 3 wide receivers and a center and a quarterback.
We're not going to leave Mom out of this, because I know that you say that she's the best athlete in the whole family.
You know, the competitive side, it comes out of her. Even cheering for us in the stands, you see her yelling and, you know, get into it with some parents. Looking back at it now, like, man, my mom was dope. She always taught me about body language, and oftentimes I have my head down and she gets mad at me for. So little things like that just moms are just great at.
I'm going to remember that, though. I'm going to be like, Drake, Mom said, put your head up.
Exactly.
I see you on the field.
Coach Ray will probably say the same thing.
Your brothers, I've heard you say several times they're your heroes. Being the youngest, were you the guy that was always trying to keep up, or were you the one that adapted?
I think definitely trying to keep up. They were all about 6'5". When I was in middle school, I was probably about 5'8" or 9". I hit a late growth spurt, so it was really just trying to, catch up. They all found a passion in life, and I was able to chase them and find a passion for myself. We could all, have something in common. 2 of them chose basketball, Cole chose baseball, and look at me here, football, so we got them covered.
Drake on a deep drop. Touchdown, Patriots!
I'm just curious what you would want to say to them as they watch you on such a big stage on Sunday.
It's our stage.
He runs up the middle, up top. That guy right there. Drake, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Those are my 3 best friends in life. I know it's me in the spotlight, but you guys are just a big part of that.
What's the group chat like?
The group chat, we're probably making fun of each other, the #1 thing. We enjoy picking on each other, while at the same time, you loving each other.
And all the May boys expected to be here, including Luke May, who still plays professional basketball in Japan. Had a game Sunday, but the timing worked out. He could still hop on a plane and make it. But you can see that his background kind of informs the type of quarterback player in person that he is on the field too, Devin.
And his background shows for these moments. We hear the crowd. It's all Seahawks fans in here right here. That doesn't matter. Drake May is going to look at his teammates. I got this. Chaos is going on. He's calm, and he tells everybody again, I got us. Don't worry. He handles it.
Yeah, and I think a big part of this game is Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, helping Drake get into the ball game. Get him 5 completions without even thinking about it and get him into the flow of the game. The worst thing in any game, particularly the Super Bowl, is to be 0 for 4, 0 for 5 at the end of the first quarter. Get him into the flow.
Yeah, I loved watching Drake this week. You know, I've seen his interviews, how he carries himself, amazing. But it's really cool when you watch the silent tape and you can see a guy's character on film. The way he plays in a humble way, yet confident. But tonight, I think he's going to see something that he hasn't seen yet. There's not going to be much space. He's going to feel the length of the defense. He's going to feel a D-line coming out the gate right away. If they can get into that second half and he can kind of unlock it with his athletic ability, then he'll have a chance to make some points and unlock a very sound defense with his talent.
Well, yeah, Coach, like you said, I think the strength, one of Drake May's best strengths is running the football. And as a linebacker, it makes you just a tick slower in coverage when I have to drop back and have him in the side of my eye, right, to make sure I'm worrying about, is he going to take off, is he not? And I think that makes all the difference in just a pass breakup, an interception, or him scampering off for a 20-yard gain.
Yeah, Drake May, just one of the quarterbacks here at the Super Bowl on an improbable journey. Remember, the Patriots and the Seahawks were not in the playoffs a season ago. Now they have 14 wins, a Super Bowl appearance to their name, and really could walk home with the Lombardi Trophy. You're going to hear from Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold after this. Back at Levi Stadium, Seattle Seahawks looking for their second Lombardi Trophy, and their quarterback Sam Darnold has been on quite the journey. 8 seasons, 5 teams, and a fair share of doubt.
This is the Sam Darnold draft report with my notes on it. I thought you were an amazing player. Quiet leader, great intangibles, great instincts. But down here, I have it circled, not affected by failure, keeps coming. I wonder where that resiliency came from.
My family, my dad working his butt off from 3 a.m. to 1 p.m., finding the energy somehow to play catch with me. And my mom, after a long day of dealing with 7th and 8th graders, like finding the energy to always put food on the table for us. They never talked about it. They always led by example. That's always been my leadership style, just naturally. But I have them to thank for how resilient I've been throughout my career and in life in general.
Was there any takeaway from those first 5 years that you say, that's really where I grew the most?
I think one of the biggest things that I think of football-wise, feeling like I needed to make a play, especially coming from college where you can make a play. In the NFL, it's not that easy.
Darnold fires one, intercepted.
Seeing ghosts.
Were there ever moments where you doubt yourself or start to lose faith?
I have a ton of confidence in myself. I've always believed in myself, but there was always doubt. You know, I'd be lying if I said there wasn't. But again, I had a great support system, so that little doubt that kind of creeped in, that was quickly pushed to the side.
Perfect pass by Sam Darnold.
What's the balance between letting it rip and being a great decision maker?
There's a fine line, you know.
Sam, you are a magician.
So it's just playing free is always important for me, especially early on in my career as a young player. I always felt like, don't mess it up. And I feel like when you have that mindset of let it rip, it kind of takes that weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to protect the football. But if someone's open, I'm going to let it rip.
Yeah. You've gotten this team to this place. Tell me how you handle big moments like this.
I think it comes down to all the time that we've spent practicing those situations.
Sam Darnold making big plays at the biggest moments.
I feel like it's just second nature to just be able to let it rip in those scenarios.
Well, Jason, you did a great job with that sit down, but that's the second time you've interviewed him. What stood out to you about the way that he has made it approach here to the Super Bowl stage?
It's my favorite story in the NFL. I mean, this guy's a real inspiration. What an example of mental toughness and resilience and grit, all the things you preach as a coach. But what I love most is his positive spirit. There's no bitterness. It's all about trying to get better. And look at this. He's got his team in the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, I mean, as a former teammate of mine, I saw the talent every single day at practice, all the throws that he's able to make. And now going against him this year, he's made the plays to put his team in position to be in this moment. Now, removing myself from it, as a fan of the game, I want to see the ball in Sam Darnold's hands at the end of this game. If the Patriots can keep it close and somehow maintain a lead, I want to see, can Sam Darnold will his team to a victory? Because it's one thing to do it in the regular season. It's one thing to also do it in an NFC Championship game. It's another thing to do it in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Sam's a stud. And, you know, us having him for a year, I think we get a little too much credit for what we did. We didn't do anything for him. We just gave him a platform to where we could take the pressure off him for a year. And I think him watching that, Sam Sam's always let it rip. But when you let it rip all the time and you're always trying to win the game, a lot of times you keep both teams in the game. And I think that's really what's changed with him. He picks and chooses better. He's got a really good team. And when you have a really good team, you don't always have to try to win it. This game tonight, he's going to have a lot of opportunities for big plays the way New England plays, which will give them a chance to blow him out. But if he chases that too much, there'll be a lot of 3-and-outs. There could be picks, and that's what will give New England a chance.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Go ahead.
In 2019, I was in that game where it was seeing ghosts and all of those things. And I think Zach Cord, the defensive coordinator for the Patriots, he's going to send that pressure. He wants to create those ghosts so these Patriots defenders can get interceptions and make plays. This defense is dying to prove to the world that they are one of the top defenses.
I think a big part of this thing is Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, quieting the game down for him by running the ball. He won't see the ghosts if they're coming off the ball and making 4 and 5 yards when they run it. He'll get some opportunities outside. He'll be comfortable, and he's capable of making the plays.
I couldn't agree more with that. The hard thing for Clint and Sam, just watching New England, they're aggressive. I love their 2 safeties. But anytime that's your strength, it could be your biggest weakness. And Clint and Sam, they'll be very tempted. I know what they love to do. They love to go deep. If you do that a lot and you hit, yeah, then you kill somebody. But chasing that all day, that can get you off your rhythm, get you away from the run game, and that's when Seattle's D will take over.
And remember, we heard Carlton Davis before. He said, we like our 3 corners against anybody. Sure. These Patriot defenders, they're confident how they can match up outside.
Sam Darnold just needs to maintain the football. Do not turn the ball over, and you give your team the best chance to win this game.
We saw Mike McDonald kind of dapping up his team as he went. One thing he said about Sam Darnold is he's shown courage repeatedly throughout this process, and he's always had a ton of faith in him.
He's just an easy guy to root for. He is. He's been through so much. He's got an amazing spirit. He's got tremendous ability. If he keeps the ball in the fairway, it's going to be hard for New England to win this game.
All right, Sam Darnold from San Clemente, 400 miles south of right where we sit right now. We are less than an hour to go from kickoff. Some of the Super Bowl MVPs are going to be in the house. Green Day is going to take the stage. Coco Jones will perform Lift Every Voice and Sing. Brandi Carlile has America the Beautiful. Charlie Puth will sing the Star-Spangled Banner. And in partnership with the NFL and NBC Sports is offering sign language artist performances both at halftime and coming up next. You can find those at NBCSports.com/ASL.